What's up, tubes? So I'm stepping up the quality of my wands a bit. I got a new process for making them. I'm working on one for my collection as a way to get better with the process of which I'm making them. I'm going to have to collect more sticks anyway because doing some quality control before painting a couple of the wands that I carved out, it didn't really meet what I call my qualification test. So I'll be showing you how I shape these out tomorrow or later on in the videos. You know what I'm saying? This has a little bit of sanding that needs to be done to it yet. You know, there's a couple of lines I want to smooth out, make it more defined, and I'll show you how that's done in another video. But I've also got the shipping relocated to my apartment, so processing the orders will go so much quicker. Now the mini sander I have works great for carving out wands. Whenever I paint the wands or sand them, now I just do it over the trash can. It minimizes the mess. The vacuum I have works, so this will make the process super clean. And you know, I've never used a mini sander to make my wands before, so that's another thing too, is part of, you know, making the product better, is if you're working with new tools and that sort of thing. Let's take a gander here. Ooh. Well, I made a new cooking video. It's still uploading. I had a case of the hangries going on while I was cooking, so. But if anything, it shows that I'm trying to work on my temper, which, man. That's part of being a wand maker, is sometimes the wands you make snap. They're easily replaceable, to a degree. You're not going to get one exactly like it, but I just felt like this would be a great way to make the product more solid. It's been pretty consistent. I've been doing pretty good on my Etsy thus far. But I'm gonna make it even more professional, you know. And whatever sanding I have left for this particular wand, I'll show you how I do it in the next video. Now I'm making this wand update because a lot of my fans are going to want to buy a wand, wanting to know, hey, when you're making more, you know. I'm in the process of doing it. Anyways, YouTube, thank you for watching the wand update. And stay tuned, and I'll show you how to sand your Harry Potter style wand, or at least how I'm doing it now for my business, which isn't going to hurt my business any, because people are always going to want to buy a wand from me. People trying to stop my business, people trying to mess with it, so, and what have you. Their venture is wasted. People are always going to want to buy a wand. That's just how it is. And once they get it carved out, we'll get it painted, get a leather handle on it, get it polished. And I can show you step by step as it dries how that all goes down. That's not going to take me too long. There we go. Well, this one's done drying on the blade. This one's a bit thicker, just like the one on my desk. And at this point, what I'll do for the second half is just tag the blank half with some black spray paint, let it drip over the trash can, and then I'll set it on a paint can to dry further. This is more what I'm going for when I make these. You know, I don't want it to be too thick, I don't want it to be too thin, you know. But I want it to look like something you could just hold in your hand and be like, yeah, you could just tell that's a wand as soon as you pick it up. And that's part of quality control, YouTube, when you're making a product. When you're making a product and you want to make it better, that's part of quality control. It's part of owning a business, period. And right now I'm only painting like one at a time because I don't want the smell to get overpowering. And it also ensures a quality product, making sure that I'm taking my time with each wand to make sure the paint looks good. The reason why I like using spray paint is because the gloss is already in there. You know, the paint, the colors are bright. Now that the excess is dripped off, take a look at that, YouTube. That's shaping up to look pretty sweet, man. See, even as I paint it, as I work with it, and just study it as it dries, this is starting to look more and more like a KOBRAJFS handmade wand. There's a reason why my wands do so well on Etsy. And the cool thing is I can just set it on top of a paint can to dry. While I was carving the wands out earlier, doing quality control, before I painted them, I decided, we'll test the durability of them. And a couple of them snapped. That's part of quality control. I wasn't going to bother painting them if they snapped too easy. You know, it just seems like a waste of time and a waste of paint. But, these two are looking pretty good. Right, these two right here are looking pretty good. They're nice. Yeah. This one, however, I might do a little bit more sanding, just a little bit more sanding on this one. kind of round off the tip a bit better. This one turned out pretty cool too, just the custom shape, because where the knots are placed, you know. This one, yeah, this one's fine the way it looks. This will look cool with the handle especially, you know. So really the only one I'd probably work on sanding more would be this one and maybe this one, because this one is a little bit thicker, you know, kind of. Actually, no, this one's fine the way it is. This one looks good too. Although I might round this one off a bit more because there is that crease kind of right there. I don't want to make it too much, you know. Like, see, this one is a bit rounder. That looks nice. But this one, could be a little bit skinnier just because, you know, it's that perfect ratio. You don't want it to be too fat. You don't want it to be too skinny when you're making these. But yeah, these are going to be going in the batch. These 4 will be going in the batch with some others that I carve out. And to show you how I make these now, I'll be carving my own out, and I'm gathering more sticks anyway, so I'm not worried about it. But I see a lot of people with these do-it-yourself wand videos, and I'm like, okay, what are they using? And then I'm like, it's one way to do it, but this is how I do it. Now, showing you these techniques isn't going to hurt my business one way or another, because people are always going to want to buy a wand from me. You know, it's just how it is. The sander I have, the mini sander I have, does wonders for making these. It makes the process a lot easier. So these are going to look nice when they're done. You know, actually, as I'm holding these, you know, maybe like the only one I would like these two, because yeah, that line be a little bit rounder. But yeah, I'm in the process of making another batch. It might take a little bit longer just because I'm not used to using a mini sander. I'm used to just taking sandpaper, wrapping it around, and just sanding it by hand. The mini sander is a little bit quicker, and it produces a cleaner product, in my opinion. But I was starting to get the hang of it. It didn't take me too long to master it. I mean, because I've been talking a lot about it on my YouTube and on my Facebook, and people are going to be like, okay, what do you mean mini sander, you know? How do you do this shit, you know? It's just that simple, YouTube. I'll show you how it's done in my next vid. But yeah. Ooh, excuse me. And once I get this carved out, I'll get the paint started on it. Once it dries, I'll set it to the side. I'm going to take you step by step on how to finish these. Start off with your basic shell, your basic blank canvas, and from here you start to see the wand take shape. You know, you make them out of a nice solid stick. It's going to feel better in the hand when you hold it. It's going to have a nice balanced weight to it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, buddy. Now I go to grab my pipe to pack some tobacco and wrap this video up. And I set the wand down. My hand was about this far from it, and I watched it move on its own. My Tai Chi is impressive. See, there's a reason why, YouTube, there is a reason why my wands sell as well as they do. It's just a fact. So this is a nice little wand update. In my next video, I'll show you how to carve a wand with a mini sander. I'm trying to make the product even better than it was before, so they continue to sell, you know. A couple of my wands broke. A couple of the wands I was making broke due to carving and shit. It is what it is, but that's part of making the wands, YouTube. Anyways, tubes, we'll get this wand update uploaded. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you cool cobras on the flip side.